All right, let's talk about something we'd all rather just ignore. And look, this is probably going to be uncomfortable because if you don't choose to have this conversation with yourself, life is going to have it with you. And trust me, life is a much, much harsher teacher. You know this scene, right? Your eyes are burning, your head has that dull, fuzzy ache, and your neck is just locked in that familiar phone angle. You've got that huge presentation due in the morning, your alarm is set for a time that's frankly insulting. You know with absolute crystal clear certainty that you should be sleeping or working or literally anything other than this. But that thumb, it just has a mind of its own, just a mindless, numb twitch. Up, up, up. Just one more video. And there it is. That's the voice. The one inside your own head, watching this whole thing unfold like a bad movie. The rational you is just screaming, "What are you doing? This is self-destruction." It knows this is a complete betrayal of your own goals. But it's just a passenger, isn't it? And the person driving? Well, that's you too. Kind of feels idiotic, doesn't it? We've all been there. And in that moment, it feels like an escape. It feels like comfort. You're avoiding the stress of the project. You're ducking the mental strain of actually having to focus. You're wrapping yourself up in this cheap, pixelated blanket of distraction. It feels easy. It feels safe. But let's be brutally honest here for a second. That feeling, that's not comfort. It's an anesthetic. It's a numbing agent. And every single minute you spend chasing that easy feeling is a debt you're racking up against your future self. And let me tell you, the interest rate on that debt is absolutely crushing. Tonight's cheap comfort is just the down payment on tomorrow's panic, next year's stagnation, and maybe a lifetime of wondering what could have been. So why? Why is it so damn hard to just put the phone down and do the thing? You probably tell yourself it's some kind of character flaw, that you're just lazy, you're weak-willed. But that's not the real story. The truth is, you're fighting a battle against your own wiring, and you're fighting it in a world that has turned your desire for ease into a weapon against you. Look, your brain evolved for one main purpose, to keep you alive using the least amount of energy possible. It's a fundamentally lazy system. It's always looking for the shortcut, the path of least resistance. And what is modern society? It's a 24/7, all-you-can-eat buffet of easy paths. Hungry? Don't hunt, don't even cook. Just tap a button. Bored? Don't create, don't explore, just consume what the algorithm feeds you. Every app is engineered to feed that primal craving. This isn't just laziness anymore. It's the worship of comfort. So in your head, there's this constant, raging tug of war going on. On one side, you've got your brain's default setting. It's the autopilot, just hunting for the next hit of dopamine, the next easy win. And on the other side, that's the manual override. It's the conscious, draining, intentional effort to choose what's hard, to delay gratification, and to actually do the work that leads to real growth. Every single choice you make, big or small, is a battle between these two systems. But here's the absolute key to all of this. That manual override part of your brain, your prefrontal cortex, it's not fixed. It's a muscle. The science is undeniable on this. Every single time you choose the hard path, when you close the tab, when you get out of bed on the first alarm, when you make that difficult call, you are literally rewiring your brain. You're strengthening that muscle. Think of it like a video game. Every temptation you resist is XP. You are literally leveling up your discipline skill. So I really want you to let this sink in. You are not fundamentally broken. You are not weak. You are simply untrained. Your willpower muscle has gotten soft because, let's face it, modern life is a cushy sofa that's made it so easy to never, ever use it. Now, this isn't an excuse, not at all. It's a diagnosis. And the great thing about a diagnosis is that it points directly to a cure. Now, I want to show you what that future pain I mentioned actually looks like, because it doesn't just show up one day and knock on your door. No, it's a slow poison. It's the result of 1,000 tiny, seemingly harmless choices that compound over time into something you can't ignore. Let's just watch it unfold. Year one is all of the small stuff, hitting snooze just once, putting off that work email till later, choosing Netflix over the gym because, hey, I deserve a break. It feels like nothing. But year two, the consequences start to actually show up. You miss a key deadline and you can feel your boss's trust waver just a little. You've gained some weight you can't ignore anymore. There's just this persistent, nagging feeling of being stuck. Year three, a real opportunity just vanishes. You get passed over for a promotion you really wanted, and deep down, it's because your colleague was just more reliable. Then, 5 years in, you wake up.
and it hits you. It's major regret. You're trapped in a job that drains your soul, you feel sluggish and unhealthy, and you're watching the people who made the hard choices 5 years ago living lives you now only get to dream about. And that right there is the moment of devastating clarity. Looking in the mirror and finally understanding, with this soul-crushing weight, that every single time you chose what felt easy, you were actively, deliberately choosing this exact future. You weren't picking comfort. You were just picking a different kind of pain, one that was delayed, chronic, and so much more agonizing. Eric Thomas put it perfectly. We live our lives based on how we feel. I don't feel like it. I'm just not motivated today. I'm too tired. And what's at the end of all those feelings? Nothing. An empty promise, a life of what-ifs. But at the end of a principle, a rule you set, like, I show up no matter how I feel, at the end of that is a promise. The promise of progress. The promise of a life that you actually built on purpose. Okay, enough with the story. Let's talk about you. Right here, right now. Because none of this is really a surprise to you, is it? How many times has tomorrow been your favorite word? It's like this magical land where all your hard work magically gets done. The diet starts tomorrow, the resume gets updated tomorrow, the whole new life begins tomorrow. It's a comforting liar, isn't it? Takes all the pressure right off of today.
Let's be real for a second. Your problem is not a lack of information. You know which foods are good for you. You know that exercise works. You know exactly what that first step is for your big goal. You could probably write a book on what you should be doing. So why don't you? Why do you consistently choose the path that you know for a fact leads directly to a place you absolutely despise?
Let's just call it what it is. You're not confused. You're not overwhelmed. You're avoiding. You are actively avoiding the discomfort of effort. You're avoiding the fear that you might not be good enough. You are avoiding the hard work that is the non-negotiable price of entry for every single thing you claim you want in this life. And this brings us to the crucial point, the hard truth. Whatever is going on, or maybe more accurately, whatever's not going on in your life right now, it's your fault. Oof, that stings, I know. But it's also the single most powerful realization you can possibly have. Because if it's your fault, you're not a victim. If it's your fault, that means you have the power to fix it. So own it. Okay, that was the cold shower, the necessary truth. So now let's talk about the way out, because there is a way out, and it starts by completely demolishing your old idea of what discipline even means. We're taught to see discipline as punishment, like this joyless, miserable grind. That's a total lie. Discipline isn't punishment, it's protection. It is your shield against your own worst impulses. It's the wall you built to protect your future self from your present moment weakness. It's the bridge that gets you from the person you are today to the person you know you can become. It's the operating system that makes sure your actions actually line up with your ambitions. So, how do we build it? Let's get to work. 4 steps. 1. Start stupidly small. Seriously. Don't try to become a new person overnight. Just make your bed. That's it. Keep that one promise to yourself. The goal isn't a clean room, it's proving you can follow through. 2. Build your discomfort tolerance. Intentionally do things you don't feel like doing. Take a cold shower, wash the dishes the second you're done eating. This is basically just lifting weights for your willpower. 3. Design your environment. Stop relying on self-control. It's a finite resource. If you want to stop eating junk food, get it out of your house. If you want to focus, leave your phone in another room. Make the right choice the easiest choice. And 4, this one is critical. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is that flaky friend who only shows up when things are easy and fun. A routine is the friend who shows up with a truck to help you move. Think of your life like a system. It has inputs and outputs. And if you don't define the rules and actively manage it, it's going to default to chaos. It'll get buggy. It will eventually crash. Discipline isn't some grand, heroic act you do once. It's the daily maintenance. It's running the updates, clearing the cache, and making sure the system is operating in service of you, not the other way around. Now, here's a kind of a counterintuitive idea that can change everything for you. We think self-control is about fighting our urges, wrestling them into submission. But what if the real secret is to just give up the fight? Imagine you're in a tug-of-war with a big craving monster. The harder you pull, the harder it pulls back. You're getting exhausted. The secret is to just drop the rope. Acknowledge the craving, notice it, let it sit there like a loud, annoying song stuck in your head. You don't have to like it. You just have to be willing to feel it without acting on it. And when you stop feeding it the energy of your resistance, you'll be amazed at how often it just fades away on its own.
Look, we've dissected the problem, we've looked at the consequences, and we've laid out the solution, but it all means nothing without action. So it comes down to this single moment, right now. Be honest with yourself. What is the one hard thing you know you should do that you keep pushing to tomorrow? The difficult conversation, the first sentence of that chapter, putting the gym shoes by the door, the entire path out of this trap begins with that one single uncomfortable step. What's it going to be?